Hey everyone, this is 2 Point Stance. This is Uriah,
I'm Julio.
and we got a special guest from Jersey, and we're going to talk about the Cowboys today. That's one of your friends, right, from back home?
For sure.
Talk to us a little bit about Manny.
I know Manny since we're probably like 5, 6 years old. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We've been playing sports games since we were kids. Out in the block in the street playing baseball, hitting balls into people's windows. We were those kids. Man, I mean, we've been big sports fans for a long time. Manny became a Cowboys fan in the 90s when we finally got into football. Obviously, I think football it's an adult sport. I don't think you really get into football to become an adult because
later.
you know what I mean. There's so much complexities to understand.
For sure.
So I know he became a big Cowboys fan. So he's been diehard since I known him. Big fantasy football guy. He's really good at that.
Yeah, he was all right.
Well, he's
Hey, second 2 years in a row, man.
Yeah.
That ain't too bad.
I got to come in first.
Yeah. But still, you got all the leagues you're in. But yeah, man, he's a big time Cowboys fan. So we definitely want to dive in and see like how we're gonna fix the 2020 Cowboys. But before we do that, we want to know what went wrong in 2019, right? You guys started off 3-0, looking like one of the best teams in the league, tearing it up. Yeah, people say it was the competition. I still doubt that. I mean, I think Cowboys are one of the most talented rosters, top to bottom, in the entire NFL.
Absolutely.
But scary part is there's 25 free agents on this team.
25.
25. That's why they have the cap room. You guys got what? About 70? Yeah, about
77.
$77 million in cap room. But
77.
because there's 25 free agents, you only have half the team on payroll right now. So so let's start off with what do you think went wrong last year? Where do we go from 3-0 to 8-8 out of the playoffs and letting the Eagles back in there, which nobody wanted to see?
I think it starts off with the coaching staff, man. For years and years, what do you say, the last 3 years, I think Garrett should have been fired years ago. The clapper. The clapper. That's what everyone calls it. He raises your blood pressure, his decision-making. With a team with an offensive line like the Cowboys have, running game, you're supposed to just punch people in the mouth, stomp over them, keep on going. And he played so reserved. He was very, very reserved in his play calling. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You got Zeke in that O-line. What do you do? Punt. And when you're in good field position, who else we got? You got – I got it here.
Yeah, I think Garrett was huge, man. That he should have left a long time ago. But I don't know. It's that is it
Jerry Jones?
Yeah, Jerry Jones was just really
that's his
faithful
guy.
to the guy. That's his guy.
That's his guy. So he wants to see him.
Or that's his puppet.
Well, nah. I mean, you could maybe say puppet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's his puppet.
I mean, it could be that. It could be that. I think more along the lines like when you put your reputation on the line for somebody, like you want to see them come through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want everybody to say like, "Yeah, we were right, we were wrong." Like, Jason Garrett's not the guy, but it just doesn't make sense. Like you were saying, like what is it? Your top, like let's say your top 4 to 5 cap figures are all on your offensive line. The only one higher is DeMarcus Lawrence. Like then you go down the line and it's like it's Tyron Smith, it's Travis Frederick, it's Zach Martin, and then it's Zeke, and then you're like, wait, that's where your money is. Like, you know what I mean? Like people say, put your money where your mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Like, like what are they doing? You know what I mean? Like if your money's on the offensive line, like go do it. You know what I'm saying? Like go get that for
Exactly.
So,
especially last year too. If you look at that, with Amari Cooper being injured, he suffered with that foot injury for the entire year. After what was it, week 4, I believe it was, where he got.
You guys were killing it before that.
That's where really. So he was dealing with that the whole year, they say. I hope that played a factor as far as – I know it did. Played a factor in the rest of the season. He still had those blow-up games. But that coaching staff, it ruined a lot of careers, I think. Romo, Dez, throughout the years. You had winning – you had championship caliber teams. Yeah. You couldn't even get out the first round of the playoffs. So that's major –
It's got to be coaching, right?
Oh,
it's got to be coaching.
That's right.
For sure.
And the coaching and all that goes into the decision making as far as in the draft. When you pick these players to fit your scheme and not fit your scheme for the players that you're drafting, you're going to give up you're passing over some high talented players. We did that with Derwin James. They didn't even have him on the draft board. That's how bad it was.
Really?
We did.
Derwin James. Yeah, of course.
Wait, where'd you hear that from?
Listening to the Cowboys, I
Podcast
can't remember his name, but a lot of the Cowboys insiders.
Yeah.
Derwin James. Of course, they interviewed him, but he was not on the draft board supposedly.
That's weird.
I wonder if it was
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
No, it wasn't.
No?
It goes back to that whole scheme thing. They wanted who they selected that round. Was it oh man, I should know this.
Well, that year would have been no, it would have been Van Der Esch, no?
Van Der Esch.
It would have been Van Der Esch, yeah.
Nate Van Der
Which
Esch.
I mean, he's pretty nasty.
Yeah,
like,
he's
you know
pretty
what I mean?
nice.
Like, I don't know if he's Derwin James.
No, he's not Derwin James.
Yeah.
Type of talent.
Van Der Esch.
Van Der Esch had a great rookie season, though. You know, like.
Yeah.
But that entire safety class that year was a great safety class.
For sure.
And you compare it to this year, there's safety position, but not like that year.
Not like Derwin
So,
James. No, for sure. You know, I was thinking too, like, I mean, what do you think about, like, why even bring back Jason Witten? Did you agree with the Jason Witten move?
Oh my God, no! Did you see him run?
No, it was.
Oh my
bad.
God,
And what was
it
it,
was
like
bad,
five,
man.
what did he get, like 5-6 million? It was like
Yeah.
it was something like that. I mean, I love Jason Witten. I respect him. He's one of the all-time greats at tight end. You know what I mean? But like, that's one decision that I was just left scratching.
And I never understood it, especially as you watch the game and you see Blake Jarwin play. You see the run after the catch.
Yeah,
he was making plays, but in order to fit in, Jason Witten, the veteran, the one you have strong emotional ties to.
Yeah. Like, did you think
you giving up?
Get him out of the ESPN booth because it was bad? Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like,
it saved us. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard to watch.
Yo, dude, like, oh man. I mean,
could you imagine him?
Another subject, but
could you imagine him and Booger in the same booth?
Oh gosh. Oh man, that's terrible. Like, I kind of liked it better without Witten. I ain't gonna lie, even though Booger gets on my nerves too.
Oh yeah.
But like at the same time, like, man, that's another conversation for another day. But I think the NFL needs a new broadcaster. Bad.
Oh yeah.
Bad. Like it's getting pretty bad. But anyway.
So what do you think about the new head coach now?
Mike McCarthy. He's saying
Are you pumped? Are you excited?
I'm pumped. You cannot be excited. You know, finally getting rid of Jason Garrett. With Mike McCarthy, he's saying all the right things. The first thing he said in one of his press conferences was fitting the players to your scheme. He was like, well, not fitting your players, excuse me, drafting players and fitting your scheme to those players. He was like, you're not going to overpass or pass over some of the most talented players. He's like, we're there to coach these guys up. That's their job. So with Mike McCarthy, I don't know if you guys seen the coaching staff he put together.
Yeah, no, it's
Jim Tom Sula, defensive line coach, Mike Nolan, DC, the Fossil, special teams.
That's a loaded staff, man.
Who else we got? He's a pretty good coaching staff. We got Kellen Moore. He wanted to keep Kellen Moore, and he's going to give Kellen Moore the play calling ability just to maintain that consistency. Yeah, he's calling plays.
Okay, interesting.
So it's I'm excited. You can't be excited.
I mean, I think the only thing he did not say right was like at first he said that he watched every Cowboys play last season, and then after he got hired,
and then he took it back. He took it back.
Come on, bro. Yeah. I mean, but who doesn't?
Like, I said the same thing.
He's like one of those living memes, the interview memes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you lie on him.
He's like, you guys cut the check. You guys cut the check. Now I can say it.
Which is ridiculous. But I mean, I love Mark. I mean, at least McCarthy's voice. Like, his voice is great. Like, he's got a great coach voice. Like, I love his voice. It's up there with Eddie O down at LSU. But, you know, it's funny because, like, I mean, Mark McCarthy, the head coach, I like.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, like, I'm not crazy about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a whole talk between him and Aaron Rodgers and, like, how stale that offense got. You know, but if he's going to give, continue to give the play calling to Kellen Moore, now we talking
for sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
And so what do you think about free agency? Couple free agents that you like out there that can fit your team. And
I mean,
as far as free agency,
who should you keep out of those 25 free agents?
That's what I was just gonna say. That's the whole thing now. as far as with the free agency and the draft, you got Dak Prescott. They got to keep Dak. And it's better to sign him to a contract. I just heard today they offered him, what was it, $33 million a year?
33 million.
He finally made an offer, $33 million a year. We'll see if whatever they counter with, hopefully they lock him up. Amari Cooper is the next one. You got Byron Jones. That's a lot of money, but with the new CBA, the CBA is going to be is it next week? It has to be voted on.
I mean, it's supposedly by the 12th, hopefully.
And so it's supposedly going to increase the salary cap. And if that's the case, we might have an opportunity to sign all three of them, re-signing all three of them.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to do that. My biggest thing is, number one, like, I mean, I get what Jerry Jones is saying about Dak. He's not saying that Dak is not worth $40 million. He's basically just saying, hey, for the good of the team, like, can you take 33?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of, like you said, we got 25 free agents. Like, bro, it's going to hurt you if we pay you $40 million a year to fill our team. You know what I mean? Like you said, from top to bottom, the Cowboys have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. You ain't going to have it anymore once you got to pay Dak that much money. 33 is going to be hard enough to keep up. Trust it for someone, Matt Ryan, 30. You know what I'm saying? Well, not me, but Arthur Blank paying Matt Ryan 30. Like, it hurts the rest of our team. You know what I mean? So it's like,
absolutely.
You know, to pay this guy 33, and then not only that, he wants 40. Like, I don't think he realizes how much damage he's doing to the Cowboys if he really wants that much money. You know? And this is not defending Jerry Jones. We know the dude's rich as he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt his pockets. But we do, in the NFL, we are under the salary cap. So that's going to hurt you. So, like, I guess you have a counter argument to keeping Dak at $33 million. You want to talk about it or no?
Well, look, I think Dak should take every penny that he can get. 38, 39, 40, get it, bro. You know, he gave the Dallas Cowboys a huge discount in his 4-year deal, at the 4-year rookie deal. He made $2 million in those 4 years. Do the math, dude. He was getting freaking pocket change. So in those 4 years, you know, Jerry Jones didn't take the opportunity to build a team around it and just win some Super Bowl. So why would Dak give Jerry Jones, one of the richest owners in the NFL, a discount when, bro, I played for you 4 years. You know, we had some good, we had some bad, but regardless, you know, we got a good future ahead of us. Why should I give you a discount? So, hey, I'm with Dak, dude. Get your money, bro. 39, and I get it, man. You know, it might hurt the team or whatnot, but, dude, I don't know, bro.
Well, I mean, he's not giving Jerry Jones a discount. Like, at the end of the day, like,
well, you
like
know
what
I mean.
You know, I know what you mean, but I'm saying, like, when you sign somebody, even signing bonus count against the cap. You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course.
So, like, if it didn't, let's say, like, hey, like, we could pay you with $100 million signing bonus and it doesn't go against the cap. I mean, yeah, at that point, I agree with you. But it's like, when you do have a cap figure, that's where it's like, man, like, that's going to be tough. You know what I mean?
I'd take every dollar you can get. And you know what? Jerry Jones, figure the rest out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
at the end of
you're right.
But you know what? I think that's one gamble that Jerry Jones might take. Like, if the CBA – I mean, like, you're right, dude. I guess we just have to wait to see where the CBA is going to go. But, you know.
Well, that's what the Cowboys are waiting for.
Oh, every team. I mean, there should be.
The Cowboys been waiting on that. They've been waiting for that new CBA to come through.
Exactly. I think a lot of teams are, for sure. We could probably be having more action with cuts and trades, at least, because you can't do signings yet.
But even if the CBA doesn't go through, you pay Dak. Dak, get your money. Get 38, 39, 40. I don't care. Because you can get somebody like CeeDee Lamb in the draft.
That's all going to come together now. If you don't give Cooper.
What are you guys drafting at?
17.
17.
Bro, I'm sure – and even if it's not CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, there's a ton of other receivers you can get. You know what I'm saying? That can fill that void. You don't have to pay all that money to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, yes, he's special, but there's a lot of talent out there at wide receiver.
You got to think, too, with the Cowboys. They gave up a first-round pick for Amari.
That's
so you're going to get – so that plays a factor.
It does.
And the other thing with Amari is when they came into last season without a number one wide receiver, you saw what happened. The team couldn't do anything. They couldn't move the ball in the passing game. So they also have that in their head. So you sign Dak, you sign Amari, and then Byron Jones is the one. He's the one that – and I love Byron Jones, man. they put so much on him because he doesn't get the interceptions. But you see him go against top wide receivers, man, and he just holds them down. He holds them down.
I think for me, my value system and the way I will build a team, like I think Byron's more valuable than Amari.
Of course.
That's the way I see it. But like you made a very good point about that first round pick. Like at the end of the day, you almost gotta eat the Cooper trade just because like you lost a first round pick for it. So it's like, how are you gonna let that guy walk? You know what I'm saying? Like where are you gonna
get a wide receiver? Then you're going to take the wide receiver number 1 this year in the first round. So then basically you spent back-to-back years drafting wide receivers, if you look at it like that.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's another thing. But with Byron Jones and the free agency, with Byron Jones, they, like I said, they give him so much slack for not getting the interceptions. He locks these players down. He, what's this guy's name? One of the top corners in the league. The
one from Gilmore or Ramsey or who?
Gilmore, Ramsey, Gilmore, and from the Bills.
Oh, see, Tre'Davious White. See, the thing is, White's but he's a zone corner. He's good at that. Like Byron could man up and play.
Yeah.
That's why I say like that's why he's that valuable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you don't get too many corners. Like they asked him to play safety, he killed it at safety. They asked him to come down in the corner. He killed it at corner. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just like, man, I think Byron Jones is so valuable, but I do understand the argument about giving up a first round for Amari, and also the chemistry that Amari has built with that is super important.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing where, like you said, he for sure opened up that offense, you know? So I get it. And I think Byron's asking for more money than Amari's probably going to get.
Sure.
You know, Byron's probably
most of the teams in the NFL are ready to spend that money on him. The Raiders are really ready to spend that money on him.
Raiders, Jets, Giants, you name it. These guys, like, they're ready because they know what it's about.
What does he want? Like 15, 20?
I mean, Bradbury's asking for 15, so I'm guessing he wants like 17, 18.
Hey, I was gonna say 17 was what I heard.
Yeah, I mean
17 was you can get offer, because 16, 17 is what the top corners are getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't signed a deal yet. You know, Gilmore signed his like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we don't even know he's probably going to reset the market at corner for sure.
Yeah.
There's no question.
And a lot of those numbers too, a lot of people don't look at the numbers, but the big plays that he gave up, especially last year, was when the D-line, there was no pass rush. And so what happens when there's no pass rush?
Oh, yeah, you got to guard.
Eventually, they're getting eaten up out there, man, eventually. So a lot of those plays, the touchdowns he did give up, it was all because there was no pass rush at that time.
Exactly.
But going back to Byron Jones and the new coaching staff with Nolan, what they're talking about is attacking the ball, relentless pursuit, and interceptions. And so that's something that's making us as fans and also people who work for the Cowboys, well, insiders, you would say, makes it seem like they really are going to let Byron Jones go and get something in the draft. So we'll see. I hope we keep him.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, if you can sign all three, that'd be huge. Like, I don't know if you can afford anything else in free agency after you sign those three guys. Like, that's going to be really tough. Maybe some bargain, free agents. I mean, last year you guys did a great job of bringing in Robert Quinn, Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I really thought the Cowboys were going to have an outstanding year. Like you said, I guess coaching, I don't know. I mean, like, you got to look at the other free agents. Like, what? Your whole safety group is a free agent. Like, I mean, even back, right? Like,
you only got two coming back.
Darwin Thompson, like, all these guys are free agents,
Yeah.
You're even
Anthony Brown,
Michael Bennett. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you get a chance of bringing Randy Gregory back if they allow marijuana in the new CBA. Like, there's talks about that.
Yeah, all these players' names are coming back now.
Yeah, so
Irving, everybody.
With David Irving, that's another good point. With David Irving come back if let's say weed is allowed.
They already. I think they both applied for reinstatement already.
Did they really?
Yeah, both.
Now, are they under contract with the Cowboys still, or?
That's what I want to know. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if Randy Gregory was still.
Well, he should be a free agent. Well, with the amount of years he's been in the league, for sure. I know that because he came in the same year as Vic Beasley. And
Vic. Oh, so Vic is a Vic. Yeah.
First round pick, and he had
that's right.
Tender on him. I mean, not the fifth round, but the first round tender exercise last year, which means he's been in the league 5 years. and Gregory's been in the league 5 years too, which means that will make him a free agent. You know.
If you look at this roster though, when I look back at it, I'm like defense. That's depth at all positions, but we got holes everywhere in the defense, man. Especially with all these free agents. So
do you bring one of your safeties back, or you go out in the market and try to pick up somebody like
you got to bring back Anthony Brown. He's Anthony Brown is an unrestricted free agent. We got Jordan Lewis coming back, and Chidobe Awuzie is safety.
Yeah, I mean those guys you can.
So we're gonna have to shop, but they're all, even if they're signed for this year, the two that are signed for this year, next year they're free agents. So we're gonna have to. If we don't get Byron Jones, you're gonna have to do something in the draft and free agency.
How about like a Carl Joseph to play in the box and help?
His name came up, yeah.
Help the pass rush, get
That's
him
right.
Passes, and apply that pressure to give, I mean, if you guys do bring Byron Jones, give him more opportunities, and the rest of the secondary some chances. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's so hard to predict it right now. You know what I mean? Because like you said, without the CBA, without the real number of the salary cap,
all these teams are holding still.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. So it's like really hard to predict. But like at that point, like what do you think about the guys coming back? Let's say Tristan Hill, right? We had high hopes for Tristan.
Round 2 draft pick, yeah.
So what happened with Tristan last year? What do you think? I mean, obviously you had more guys in front of him.
There was a lot of things said about Tristan Hill. Rob Marinelli, that was his guy. He was in love with him. There was a lot of rumors, or you would say things that were said about laziness. So certain things, they're not picking up certain schemes. So he looked good coming out, and there was high hopes in training camp for him, but things didn't turn out too well for him this year.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that because I didn't know. I mean, I kind of heard that when he was coming out of South Florida. But the thing to me was, you guys, I mean, the Cowboys ran a pretty simple system last year, right? Like, Rob Marinelli, like, hey, just give me effort. Like, he tells the defensive ends, like, hey, you better never get blocked by a tight end.
Yeah.
If you get blocked by a tight end, like, they'll find you. Like, you know what I mean? And so, for me, like, now Mike Nolan coming in, he's more of a multiple defensive guy. Like, he'll run a 3-4, 4-3. Like, I remember when he was with the Falcons, one of his quotes was like, hey, I'd rather have 10 guys with 3 sacks each than 2 guys with 10 sacks each. That's what he said. He's like, because when people don't know where the pressure's coming from, it confuses the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, like, that means that you're going to try all kind of different, multiple fronts, stunting and going through the line like that. And game with the defensive line, like, can Tristan Hill handle that? If he couldn't handle a simple, like, penetrating scheme like Rob Marinelli ran. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that makes me nervous,
Yeah, absolutely. But going back to what you were saying before, you were talking about CeeDee Lamb and the whole Amari Cooper thing. If we don't re-sign Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb in the first round, that'd be a dream come true for me, man. But it all depends on free agency. Who we pick up on free agency, and if we can get that versatility in the draft, where you don't have to pick for need, which you shouldn't really. You take best player available at times. You're able to take best player available.
Yeah, we would love for that to be the case, right?
Oh, man. But I'll be excited.
Let me ask you, so when you think of CeeDee Lamb at 17, are you thinking because that's a realistic option to fall to you? Or literally, like, is that the guy you like? Like,
No. That's – for me, we're going to need some defense. I want defense.
Okay.
But if a player like CeeDee Lamb drops you at 17 –
you take him.
Especially with your Eagles right behind us in need of wide receivers. I don't want to face them for the next couple of years, especially if I'm losing Byron Jones.
Yeah.
But so
like out of the 3 guys, let's say the 3 top guys that everybody has, right? You got Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs. Like, who do you want?
Lamb.
Lamb? Out of those
Lamb,
3?
Jeudy, Ruggs.
In that order.
Okay.
In that order, but Lamb would be the one out of if a wide receiver would drop and we would consider it, it'd be Lamb.
You don't want that next Tyreek Hill and her Ruggs?
That's what a lot of people are saying, but I prefer Lamb.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
I mean,
prefer
his run
Lamb.
after catch is special for sure. Like he's
on it.
physical. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense for the Cowboys because you got that physical offensive line. You got a physical running back and Bruiser and Zeke Elliott. You got a big back and Dak. Like Lamb fits that. You know what I mean? Which like I know the Cowboys are all glitz and glamour. You know what I mean? But like that's a physical football team there. But like you said, you definitely got to back that up in defense. But people are saying Xavier McKinney is going to be there. C.J. Henderson is going to be there. Like I said, obviously, if you lose Byron Jones, C.J. Henderson might have to be a pick. Maybe if you have to reach for Jeff Gladney from TCU, just because he's probably not going to be there when you pick again in the second round.
Sure.
Those are the players that you're obviously, thinking about. So in other words, I mean, if you lose Robert Quinn, if you lose Michael Bennett, do you need another, defensive end coming off the edge? You know what I mean? To help on the other side to help D-Law out, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, there's so many questions. What do you think about all that? Like, how would you plan? Let's just say the CBA for now is at $200 million. You got $74 million in cap space, right? What is your plan to make the Cowboys better personnel-wise, realistically, in 2020?
In 2020, well, I think number one you got to do is lock up Dak, like we said. That's number one. Amari's next. You can either franchise tag if you can't get into a contract with Amari. That's number two. Byron Jones, if it's going to be at that, Byron Jones is going to go. And so that's what your decision. First round, I go safety. Safety, corner, defense, number one in the first round of the draft. Round two, if you can get yourself a corner or safety once again, or if you get one of those other wide receivers, a Brandon Ayuk. There's quite a few other players that are Jalen Reagor. If he can drop, I doubt Jalen Reagor drops to us in the second, that far down in the second. But
I think 48 in the second, is it?
48, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's 48. Okay, it's possible, but yeah, you're right. He might be gone by then.
So there's a couple other scenarios. And I wrote something down here to ask you guys your opinion. What would you prefer? Signing Amari Cooper and taking a top cornerback in the draft, or keeping Byron Jones and taking a top wide receiver in the draft? I know I spoke about it, but I want to know your opinions.
B, all day, B.
Byron Jones and that top wide receiver.
Man, Amari Cooper, what is he trying to get? At least like 20 mil? 18, 17?
I mean, if you're talking Julio and Odell money, then yeah.
Bro, that's a lot of money, bro. You can, whatever happened in the past with the first rounds, who cares, bro? We're talking about the now. You know what I'm saying? Go get a receiver, like you said, CeeDee Lamb. What is it?
Well, Henry Ruggs.
And Jerry Jeudy. Get one of those guys because, that difference in millions is a lot. It's a pretty big gap, and you can use some of that to bolster the defense and get somebody like Anthony Harris at safety. Get somebody like Carl Joseph to play in the box and apply more pressure to help your guys. So get a rookie receiver that's a beast. Keep Byron Jones. Use some of that money to in free agency to get Anthony Harris or something like that. And I think that's where you got to go, man. That's a lot of money for a wide receiver, bro. Yes, he's a beast. He's nice, man. But I mean, I think one of these receivers in the first round could do the same too. If not more fresh, and not that injury prone like what happened, like you said in before and whatnot. You don't want another season like that. So
not at all.
I mean, I think you can get that receiver, get Byron Jones, and then in the second round you can start getting some more defensive picks. And in the free agency, or even in the third, fourth round, get another receiver, another speedy receiver to take off the top, or I don't know, man. But you got to let go of Amari Cooper, in my opinion.
Amari Cooper,
so, Byron Jones, Dak Prescott, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is like how many, like year in and year out, right? You guys play fantasy. I'm not a big fantasy guy, but how many times can you pick a wide receiver? You know what I'm saying? Like way later on, who ends up producing? You know what I mean? Like there aren't too many Byron Jones, Stephon Gilmore's, Tre'Davious White, Jalen Ramsey's in the league, or period. You know what I'm saying? Like probably the hardest position to play is cornerback besides quarterback. You know what I mean? Why? Because they're just asked to guard the fastest, freakiest athletes on the planet, and it's like, here, go one-on-one with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. You can't lose a guy like Byron. To me, you can't lose a guy like Byron Jones.
No.
Is the drop-off from a Byron Jones to a C.J. Henderson more or less than Amari Cooper to a CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper to a Henry Ruggs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the drop-off from Byron Jones to C.J. Henderson is huge. You know, there's no way there's no way Okuda's going to fall that far.
Oh, no way.
It's not going to happen.
No way.
No, he might be the highest drafted corner of all time, you know?
Yep.
And so, like, what I'm thinking is, like, man, there's just aren't too many Byron Jones on this planet. You know what I mean? So it's like, period. There's so many bad corners in this league that get torched all the time, you know? And so to me, it's just like, I gotta go Byron Jones. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many wide receivers in this league too, you know? So,
it's a big risk though too, you know, seeing if you don't know if CD or Jerry Jeudy's gonna be there. So that's another scary thing.
But like you said, you still got Ayuk. You still got you know, Ruggs. You still got Rager. You still got, you know, I mean, man, like I was just looking at this wide receiver, like, dude, you can get wide receiver.
It's a deep wide receiver class.
Dude, it's huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like to me, it's just like, hey, if you got a good offensive system, you got good offensive line, you know, look what the Patriots did with nobodies. You know what I mean? Look what even the Eagles at one point where you know, Andy Reid was doing with James Thrash and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was that real skinny wide receiver that he used to have that was like ridiculously tiny? I forgot his name. But like, I'm talking about years ago. But like, you just see like, there's not many NFL teams that win Super Bowls that did it with a number one wide receiver. Like, what is Chad Johnson, Steve Smith, Julio Jones? You know what I mean? Like, the only one I can literally think off the top of my head is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is the only wide receiver that brought home the hardware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can name all these other top wide receivers, Terrell Owens. You know what I mean? Like, we could go down the list.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, at the end of the day, the problem is, like, there's no championships. Odell Beckham. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to hate on those guys. I love them. They make the game fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make the game, you know, super watchable. But, like, how many of them bring home the hardware? You know what I'm saying? Offensive line, defense. For me, the Cowboys got the team to do it, you know?
I got something controversial for you, man, before we wrap it up. Now, would you take a Super Bowl win with Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying, and then wait another 25 years to possibly get another one? Or would you roll the dice with Dak Prescott and say, let's see what he can do?
I say you roll the dice, man. You roll the dice with Dak Prescott, the new coaching staff. And I'm not – when I heard that news, I was like, no, I hope not, man. But you're going to have him for 2 years for a chance to
2 to 3, yeah.
To win a Super Bowl. What if he hits that wall like Phillip Rivers did all of a sudden where he can't throw 25 yards down the field? It's going to be a big problem. That's another scary thing, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but
I think he has the the Cowboys offensive line and running back, and then you can put the right weapons around him and smart play call. And especially, I mean, you don't have to go deep all the time. Yeah, he doesn't have the arm strength like he used to, but I'll tell you what he has though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he has that, man.
Was tough, man. I mean, he had all the protection in the world at times, and he was just throwing the ball wherever, bro. That's what happened with that pick six. You know,
I didn't feel bad for him though. I didn't feel bad for him.
No, nobody did. Nobody did. What I'm saying is that he's a proven winner. Not only that, but that mentality and that attitude in the locker room is going to help boost everyone up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I've won 6 Super Bowl rings. This is the mentality we need to have in order to be successful and win a championship. Yeah. And you guys buy into the system, you know what I'm saying? And let's roll and let's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I think he's a proven winner. And, we had this conversation the other day, and I actually have it here on my notes. Signed Tom Brady for 3 years, and hopefully you get that championship that you guys have always wanted, especially when it comes to crunch time in the fourth quarter. Do you want the ball in Tom Brady's hands in the fourth quarter or in overtime, or do you want the ball in Dak's hands? Guess what? What were the stats? Dak Prescott's stats in his very last game. He didn't throw a single touchdown pass against what was that? The Eagles? Was it the Eagles?
It was the Eagles.
What was the Cowboys' last game last year?
It was the Eagles, I believe.
It was the Eagles. How many touchdown passes did he throw?
Was it 0?
It was 0. Look it up, dude. I'm saying
it's bad, man.
Do you want the ball in Dak's, arm or Tom Brady's arm?
But I know that's one game. But if you watch Dak, Dak's been clutch throughout the years, man. He's been clutch, especially for coming in as a rookie, taking over for Romo. And then the past couple of years, he's been clutch in the fourth quarter. Pressure on him, he handles the pressure well. I'd take Dak over Brady, the Brady rental.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest argument to that is I just think right now, like, Dak is the better football player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what he brings to the table, I think that,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, the question is, which is, I don't know. I don't think we can answer.
But you don't need a lot of athleticism with that offensive line.
You don't, which I agree with you there. You don't. But my biggest thing is, like, what he brings to the table, the bootleg actions, the, running with the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
a lot more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point where, like, I don't want the ball in Tom Brady's hand in the fourth quarter. I want it in Zeke's hands. Like, you guys be, like, just, like, tearing people up where, like, fourth quarter is Marion Barber time again. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, just wearing people out to the point where, like, that's it. It's game over. Kind of like what San Francisco did with last year.
True. You
know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, we're going to run them to death. I don't care if Jeremy Garoppolo only throws 8 passes in the championship game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we do. We got Tony Pollard. We got, Zeke Elliott. We got, Mike Weaver on the practice squad. Mike Weaver on the practice squad. So, like, that's my mindset in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, can Brady, like Uriah said, that is a question. Does he bring, a different mindset to the locker room of, like, hey, I got 6 Super Bowls? Because, like, we know who walks through the halls down in Dallas. You know what I mean? We got Emmett. We got Troy. We got Michael Irvin. You got all these guys who still swing through there. And, they got the rings to show. They got the Super Bowl trophies. Like, don't you think these guys, like, heard enough from them already? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Like, Chargers is different. Falcons is different. We got no Super Bowls. That's a different story. You guys got 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, like, I'm like, do they really need Brady to elevate their game set? Maybe he can. I don't know. Is he that type of dude? He could be. What do you think about that? And then also give us your prediction,
because we got to wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah, if it works out the way you decided, what's your prediction for next year?
If it works out, for me, I just want to get past the first round of the playoffs, man. Just please get us there, man. And we suffered enough. But I wanted to say something when you said you were talking about the mentality. That was something that the new coaching staff, they've been saying. Change the mentality. The team is built to put people on their butt, run them over. He was attack on defense. So hopefully that's just the beginning with the new coaching staff changing the mentality. Garrett's out. I'm excited about that. So hopefully we got a playoff caliber team. If we can hold on to a couple of our players,
no question,
add a couple of free agents, and just make the right decisions, pick these players in a draft that are not going to fit your scheme. Not that they fit your scheme, but you're drafting players and preparing them. Well, drafting these players to not fit your scheme.
Yeah. So what do you think? 11 wins, 10 wins, 9 wins?
I'm going to go with the 11 wins. I'll be positive.
Well, you play the NFC West this year, and who do you play in the AFC? Who's in the AFC? I know you play the NFC West, so that means you got San Fran, Arizona, Seattle, and LA. I think LA is gonna take. I think the Rams are gonna take a step back again.
Oh yeah,
I really do. I don't.
You think so?
Yeah, they're letting go a lot of guys.
Yeah, I just don't think they. I don't think they. Paying Goff, I think he's gonna hurt that team. I really do. Like, they're gonna.
You can't read schemes at all.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, Donald is beast, and like Gurley, they paying Gurley, and Gurley's not the same guy, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I think with everything you said, I agree with you keeping Dak. I'm hoping they're keeping Byron Jones. Yeah, I think the Cowboys are the team to beat in FC. Sorry, I really do think it's the Cowboys for sure.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree too. But hey, we got to get going. Anyways, to the viewers out there, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with us? Do you guys agree with Manny? Drop your comments down below.
Are the Cowboys overrated?
Are the Cowboys overrated?
Are they playoff caliber?
Yeah. So drop a like, hit the subscribe button. We're going to keep doing more videos. Manny, thanks for taking the time to join us and talk about Dallas.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. And best of luck to your team. And, hey, thank you guys for joining us. And have a good one. You guys take care.
Take care. God bless.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.